Everybody wants to build wealth, own a home, and be able to provide for the people they care about. But with prices rising faster than income, more and more of us are being cut out of the real estate market. With the cost of living soaring and income dwarfed by prices, the question is, how can we get ahead? Sure, you can put your money into a savings account, work multiple jobs. You could even invest in the share market. But there has to be an easier way. We are Be4Real, and we help buyers afford to purchase property faster and make buying and selling real estate with crypto easy. Unlike other platforms that are simple marketplaces, Be4Real leverages the latest innovations in blockchain technology so you can reduce your risk, be purchase ready sooner, and transact easily. Our Be4Real staking system is the world's first system that lets you put your money to work and generate passive income to directly buy real estate. No more settling for low interest savings accounts. No more having your money devalue faster than you can save to buy. No more running yourself off your feet to try and get ahead. Just a simple system that lets you earn on autopilot. Yes, even as you sleep. Now the way it works is simple. 1. Buy Be4Real tokens. 2. Stake them. 3. Start earning inflation-beating yields. 4. Use those yields to buy with our property developers. So go ahead, wait no longer. Check out Be4Real today so you can buy a home and build your wealth.
Hi guys, Paul Seals here from Conscious Investor Network. I have Todd Pierce with me to talk about the collateralization and asset tokenization. Hi Todd, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
So can you share us a little bit about, I first came across property and real estate asset tokenization back in about 2017 when I went to BitCan conference in Hong Kong. Yep. And so can you give us a little bit of background on your project and how it's evolved to this point in time?
Yeah, cool. So Be4Real is part of the Black Tide digital ecosystem of projects, which include Be4Real and also Be4Finance, which is crypto-friendly lending. And our parent company, which is Progressive Investment Management, has been doing commercial and residential real estate for about the last 20 to 30 years. So we broker about $1 billion worth of properties each year over the last 4 years. So we've got quite a lot of experience working in that space. So for us, we're kind of a bit different in regards to how we ended up working in Web3, in that we didn't just start out to go work with blockchain and Web3. We actually started out already doing real estate. And I guess seeing the opportunities that exist with Web3 technology to effectively democratize real estate ownership, which is, one of the powers that come with blockchain when you look at asset tokenization and stuff like that. So, the journey here has been an interesting one. We started building out the Be4Real platform. I think it was, it was at the start of this year, March, we started to really test the market and find out what that product market fit was. We had the initial intention to effectively have a platform that was just for buying and selling real estate with crypto. However, as we expanded through the market and we chat to our developer networks, our agents, our real estate agency networks, what we found is that that's a little bit immature right now in regards to where they're at for adoption. However, what we did learn is that more people want to build more wealth, and prices have risen unequally compared to income, which blocks a lot of people from getting into the market if they're not already in the market, but it also makes it harder for people to expand their portfolios if they're already there. So what we're doing now is our core focus right now, what are we, we're 9 months later, is really about accelerating that process so that people are purchase ready faster, whether that's buying their first home, whether that's buying their next investment property, or whether it's just buying a stake in a tokenized portfolio, which was your core question, right? And for those who don't know, tokenization is simply where you take a real world asset and you digitize it. And what we're doing is we're doing things a little bit different to other players in the market overseas, in that we're not really interested in tokenizing individual properties. Like if Bob's got an apartment down in Sydney, it's not really a right fit for what we're doing for him to tokenize with us. He can find another method to do that. what we're doing is, because we've got such large scale connections in the traditional TradFi world, is we're actually tokenizing entire property portfolios, kind of like an index fund, right? So instead of just buying into one property that may or may not produce a yield, you're buying into, for example, our first portfolio is going live in 2023. There's 750 properties inside of that portfolio. So you diversified across 750 properties, kind of like you would be with an index fund.
Yep, got it. And so who's your target market in relation? I mean, obviously there's an offer there for people that want to get involved with the project as far as the opportunity with and you've got a couple of different token opportunities there that we'll talk about a little bit shortly as well. But who's your target market at the moment?
Look, our target market right now are people that are wanting to, okay, so there's a couple, right? So you've got the person that wants to buy their first home. We can basically help accelerate that process for you using Web3 tech. The next, I guess, avatar is someone that already has properties and maybe they want to get, I take that back, let's backtrack. So want to buy a first home, don't want to buy a first home, but would love to buy an investment property. Already have their own home and want to get an investment property, and then people that just, maybe they don't want to own any property at all, but they would like to effectively diversify their I guess their what do you call their
portfolio?
My mind eludes me. It's been a long day, and I've got two kids under 5. They want to diversify their investment strategy, right? And they want to jump into something that's got relatively good yield, but also got the stability of property.
Okay, great. So when you talk about the the first home owners, because there's the demographics, there seems to be a lot of people, particularly with some of the millennials. They've been big into crypto, but perhaps not so much into property side of things.
Yeah, it is interesting, right? So, what we've identified is that home buyers are home buyers and crypto holders are crypto holders. So you can imagine like two circles that overlap. It's like on one side you've got home buyers, and on the other side you've got crypto holders, and then there's like this little intersection here where exists the person that holds crypto because they want to buy property. So it's interesting in that we've got a lot of appetite this year from people that do hold crypto and they would like to get into property. However, they don't necessarily want to sell their digital assets, which is understandable, right? Yes. One, if you believe in the ethos of cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, you believe in sovereignty of your money. But secondly, you don't want to get that CGT, capital gains tax. So that's a big reason why we built the Be4Finance side of the business, which allows you to effectively collateralize your crypto in order to get that mortgage.
Okay, so can you step us through the process? I think you've got a bit of a presentation there as well that you can share with us also. Can you step us through the process so we can understand how it works?
Yeah, cool. So would you like me to share my screen now?
That'd be great.
I've run you guys through the tour de force because there's a couple of moving pieces in regards to what we do. So this is us, everyone, for anyone who's watching the replay. Our whole goal is buying and selling real estate with crypto, right? That kind of says what we do pretty concisely. Effectively, we're looking to help two markets converge, that being the traditional real estate market and the Web3 market. That way, it just opens up a world of opportunities for both buyers and also people that are looking to sell their properties. The question I always ask myself is why now? Really, it comes down to affordability, revolution, and need. So if we look at the market forces that brought us here, what you've got is the affordability equation, which basically shows the prices rising massively compared to income. So if you look at 1980, average income is 15,800, average house price, median national is about 40,000. M's coming into the room. And when you then contrast that and you take a look at 2000 and oops, let me get that back there. When you look at that, it's a 2.5 times difference between the income and the national house price back in 1980. Now, what people feel today is they feel this. So if you exclude the extremely high income earners and you just look at the average person, what you see is that the median income rate in Australia is about 62,800, and the national house price is 714. So what people feel is that this is 11.3 times larger than it was obviously back then. So 11.3 times difference is significantly different to a 2.5 times difference. And this is why people find it a lot harder to, number one, save for a deposit. And even when they do get their property, because another symptom of the prices increasing massively is that, banks want to lend out as much money as possible. Developers want to sell as much stock as possible. Agents want to sell as many houses as possible, right? And obviously the government want us to obviously do that as well. So what happens is these banks then go and give an LVR of about 95% in some cases, which sounds all well and good, but you have to remember you're putting up 5% capital effectively, and you're at a 95% loan. So the loans are bigger, the prices are higher, the repayments are larger, and then people get into a bit of a pickle when, interest rates go up, which is happening right now. So what this does is it's created a push to, alternative ways to generate income, not just obviously for living, but also as a way to get into property. So I read some interesting surveys that were done in the last 2 years that showed, I think it's 1 in 5 Australians see cryptocurrency investment as the fastest way to generate the funds that they need to have a deposit to purchase property, which is very, very interesting figures. Unfortunately, you've got a lag as well. So real estate professionals and lenders, they've kind of fallen behind the ball with these technological advancements. And all that does is it leaves buyers that are ready to go underserviced. And I've heard plenty of horror stories over the last 9 months of people that had crypto, they wanted to buy property, but the hurdles and obstacles they had to jump over just to get finance or to do the deal were quite significant and made it painful. Next, you've got the financial revolution. So for those that are, old enough and grey enough like we are, we remember back in 2008, all the shenanigans that were occurring, right? You had God, it was ridiculous, right? So mortgages packaged up as effectively these investment vehicles, right? So you'd have the banks that would sell these bad mortgages to other funds. They would give the money. They'll take that money to give out more bad loans, and it was just this disaster, right? All this money went into the US market. People couldn't actually make the repayments, and then the whole world felt it. So because of that, I guess, monetary and fiscal irresponsibility that was occurring back then, Bitcoin was created. It was in direct response to that, right? Now, over the last 13 years, what we've seen is crypto has, when done correctly, proven to be a really great way of making a really good ROI. Now, when you take a look at the technology underneath Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, blockchain offers, solutions to the market, right? Transparency, security, and efficiencies. And especially when you look at legacy sectors. So for us, what we're coming from is we've got 20 to 30 years worth of traditional finance, traditional lending, and traditional real estate experience. And what blockchain tech brings to that space is increased speeds, increased efficiency, and it gets rid of a lot of the redundancies that are there in regards to double handling and a whole heap of stuff, transparency especially. So we're pretty excited about this space. Now, the problem that you've got is that banks are reluctant to work with crypto. Real estate professionals have a knowledge gap. I've definitely learned that over the last 9 months of chatting with them. And because they've got a knowledge gap in regards to how things work, they're not capitalizing on this opportunity. And then, of course, you've got rising prices, creating a barrier of entry to buyers who want to obviously buy a property. Now, our solution is quite simple: systems, networks, and a platform that does the whole lot. So the big idea is this. effectively, Be4Real will be a bridge between the most volatile market in history and the most stable market in history, being crypto and real estate. So unlike other platforms that are in the market, we're going to be an end-to-end solution. So, if you need finance, if you want to get a fractionalized portfolio cranking, if you want to, stake to generate income so you can buy property faster, we'll do the whole lot, start to finish. Now, if you kind of look at the old way of doing things, this is kind of what it looks like. So if you want to find real estate, typically what do? You jump on Domain, you might jump on realestate.com, depending on where you're at. Converting crypto, it is possible for those who watch this on a replay and that aren't crypto literate. Typically what you'd do is you'd go to a centralized exchange, you'd convert your crypto into AUD. However, there's been some shenanigans in that space as well that... is it too flash? If you want to get a mortgage, what you have to do is you have to go with the banks, prove income, struggle through that process there. Fractional ownership is possible right now. Typically, the setup is a unit trust. However, it's not as flexible as it is when you do it with blockchain tech. You don't really get exclusive deals unless you know somebody in the know, and getting good advice is quite difficult when it's got anything to do with crypto, blockchain, or anything like that. So our solution is quite simple. Let's just give you everything all in one place, right? All in one place, all in one platform. So when you take a look at the high level in regards to what we're doing and how it works, what you've got Be4Real Core, and that's the core mission of Be4Real, which is about making buying and selling real estate with crypto easy. So what that means is that if you've got a real estate agent that has a buyer come to them that has crypto and they want to involve that in the transaction, we'll effectively facilitate that whole transaction for the real estate professional. That way it's nice and seamless for them. And for the buyer, it makes it very easy for them too, because they simply send their crypto either to a lending protocol, so they collateralize it. Alternatively, they send it to an escrow facility and we convert at settlement for the seller. So we just make that process nice and seamless. Then we've got Be4Real Advanced. Now, this is where things get really fun. So level 1 is tokenized, fractionalized ownership, right? So once again, tokenization is simply where you represent a real asset digitally. And what we're doing with our tokenized portfolio is really allowing people to, not just invest into one property in Sydney or in, who knows, right, Perth, or maybe over in Paris. We're doing a full portfolio, and it's kind of like investing into an index fund, which is a really, really cool model that we haven't seen really done anywhere around the world. We've got a staking system, which allows people to generate additional yields to spend on property. And this is actually level 3 is quite interesting. So it's not just your regular buyer that is having problems getting finance to buy property. It's also developers too. So, the lenders, whether that be private lenders or traditional banks, they're making it hard to actually get the funding that developers need to do their developments. So what we're doing in conjunction with our lending arm, Be4Finance, is we're going to be working with developers who would like to tokenize an entire brand new development, right? So you got a big block of land, maybe they want to do $100 million development there, build a block of apartments as an example. What we'll be doing is we'll tokenize a percentage of that brand new development, and that will go out to a retail investor. So average mum and dad can effectively buy these tokens, and that's a stake in that brand new development. Now, this is where things get really exciting. Let's say, for example, it's a $100 million development, and we only sell $10 million worth of tokens, so 10%. We then have got our lending partners who will fund any gap. So if there's a $90 million gap, we've got currently about $3 billion worth of funding, tranches set up already through our funding partners who work with crypto and real estate. So we can dip into that $3 billion worth of funds and cover any gap that there is. So if there's a $90 million gap, we cover that from the fund. And the great thing there is that the developer is happy because they get their $100 million, but the investor is happy because you've just invested into a brand new development that's not built yet. They have extremely high capital growth, and you're guaranteed that if there is a gap, it's covered by the fund. So, it's a real win for everyone. And then finally, we've got an integrated DeFi layer, which I'll talk about in 2 secs. So that's Be4Real. And then you've got Be4Finance, which I briefly mentioned. And Be4Finance does home loans. So basically being able to get home loans without selling your crypto. And we also do business and personal lending too, that are collateralized with crypto, just making it easier for businesses to get in and obviously use their crypto without selling it. So that's the high level look at what we're doing. Do you have any questions before I kind of go in a bit more detail?
Not at this stage.
Cool.
Yep.
So just to unpack that in a little bit more detail, the tokenized property fund, we are really excited about this. So our experience in doing this comes from, over the last probably 4 to 5 years, what we've been doing with our sister company, which is a real estate company, is we have been organizing large scale purchases for superannuation funds, right? We basically source all the properties and they typically buy anywhere from $200 million worth of properties up to, $500 million worth of properties at once. And they typically sit on that for X amount of time. However, with the market tightening as it has been, what we've done is we've gone, you know what? We've got this big amount of money committed to us from our lending partners. We're just going to do it ourselves. So we raised about $530 million. We sourced, I think it's about 750 properties all around Australia. And we're currently in the process of settling all of those right now. So the big idea is this: tokenization lets you take a real world asset and put it basically on chain. You digitize it. What this does, it lets you break up large assets into smaller units, which allow people to purchase in cheaper. So, typically if you wanted to get in into a property, you need quite a bit of capital there to be able to do that. So tokenization removes that barrier to entry and allows you to buy $10,000 or $5,000. It's like, you've got a $5,000 stake in Yarra One. I own that window right there. You tell all your friends, that's my door. I own that door. But it's really cool. This hits my heartstrings quite strongly because, I feel like one of the most important things that people should have the ability to do, yet it's becoming increasingly more difficult, especially with bad education and, external forces, we could say, kind of getting in the way. But I think everyone should be able to build wealth and especially own their own property. I think that's like a fundamental thing that everybody should be able to do. And tokenization, especially of good assets, allows you to get in at a lower price, which means most people can afford to do it. And then when you get the capital growth and the yields on top of that, that can accelerate your journey towards making a bigger purchase. That's how I see it anyway. But fractionalized ownership is simply a vehicle for democratizing real estate ownership. And I've already said that, right? Imagine taking your spare cash each week and using that to build a tokenized property portfolio. So we've got a fund, as I said. We've got about 750 odd properties. They're all apartments. They're not houses. They've all been researched thoroughly by our real estate team, and they're in really good locations, which means they're going to be generating rent very, very quickly. And they've got a good yield too, based on the research that we've done. So we've got the first $180 million worth of properties settling in January, and we've got the balance of those properties settling by July 2023. So it's going to be a busy first couple of months of the year as all those properties settled. Then we go through the process of filling them with people, renting them out. And after the rent has stabilized and we've got those projections down pat, we're then going to be offering to the market the tokenized portfolio. So that whole portfolio will be tokenizing. And as I said, instead of buying a token in Bob's apartment down in Sydney, which may or may not make money, you're basically buying a token in a full high performance portfolio that's already generating rental yields. And this is beneficial in two ways. Number one, each quarter, there's a dividend split. So all revenue generated from the portfolio gets basically, after expenses, obviously, after expenses, all profits go out to the people that have bought a stake. So if you're not going to have a 10% stake in a freaking $530 million property fund. That's a bit large, but let's use 10% as an easy number. Let's say you had 10%. effectively, and it generated, $100 million, then you've just made some pretty good cash. So it's based on the percentage that you own in the entire portfolio, and that every 3 months, that automatically gets paid to you as a yield. And then the other part where it's quite exciting is any growth in the value of the properties. And every 6 months, we get an independent valuer to go value the portfolio. You get that capital growth as well, which obviously is pretty beneficial. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that, Paul. It's the second largest property tokenization project globally that's ever been done.
Can I ask you as well, Todd, about like what's the profile of the properties and that sort of thing? Are they certain distance from the cities, or are they right across Australia? Like, what's the spectrum of the portfolio?
They're all over the place. They're typically on the east coast, majority of them. So around Sydney, Canberra. I think there's some down in Melbourne, but they're all relatively close to the cities, so that obviously there's demand for people that are wanting to rent them out.
Okay, great. Sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, you're right. So that's the property portfolio. We're super pumped about that. It's been a big process to get to here right now, but we've made it. It's been a long time in the making. So the next thing I want to quickly share is the staking system. So the staking system wasn't something we originally were going to have in the form that it's in right now. But as more and more people said to us, we want to get into property, but affordability is an issue for us. We thought, geez, how can we use Web3 tech to solve that problem? Because that seems like a pretty mighty big problem. And what we came up with is what I'm about to show you. So what's the big idea? The Be4Real staking system works on 2 levels to help people be purchase ready faster. The first level is earning B4RC tokens. These will be accepted by all of our developers at the price of $1. So you can spend that directly on a property purchase, either to bring the price down or literally to cover the deposit to obviously get into a property. The second level is a bit more advanced. For anyone that's not too tech savvy that's watching this replay, I'll water it down as much as I can, but it is a little bit technical when I explain the second layer. But basically what the second layer does is it lets you tap into compounding returns, as you'll see in 2 seconds. So how it works is like this. The end result is that you, a staker, staking is just the process of taking some tokens, locking them up in like a high interest savings account, and then getting a yield. Well, for us, it's literally every second that generates a yield, and you can withdraw it whenever you want. But basically, it generates a yield, and currently our yields are set 20% per annum. So the way it works is like this. Say you got Dave. Dave is a staker. Dave purchases $50,000 worth of our B4RE tokens, which is our utility token. He takes those and he stakes them for 12 months at a rate of 20% per annum. Now, over 12 months, Dave generates $10,000 worth of B4RC tokens. So 10,000 B4RC tokens. Now, the total that he's got at the end of 12 months is $60,000 worth of capital there that he can use to spend, obviously, on a property purchase. Or alternatively, he can spend that on buying tokens in our tokenized property portfolio as well. So the staking rewards, so these can be spent to buy property directly or buy a stake in our property portfolio. Or we've got a secondary market that we're in the process of sorting out, where you can sell excess tokens to people that are ready to buy property right now, but don't want to participate in staking. Next, you've got obviously the B4RE tokens, the original ones. So these can be spent on a property. Obviously, you can take those with your yields and you can buy them together and buy property. Alternatively, you can sell them on the open market and turn that back into AUD. Most people that we chat to, though, typically say that even once they've got their B4RC yields and they've used that, most people are probably interested in using these tokens over here to keep staking. That way they continue to generate those yields. Now, if we look at the advanced DeFi, that's the basic level, right? You buy some of these, you lock them up, and you get these out the other end, and these can be spent directly at the price of $1 on property or a tokenized property portfolio. Then you've got the advanced layer. Now, this is really, really cool. We built this in conjunction with one of our partners, which is an organization called Gravity. So Gravity Finance are a really cool group of guys who have built something called Gravity Silos. So what a Gravity Silo is, the way to explain it is like this. Imagine the most sophisticated trading bot you could possibly imagine, and give it some steroids for a couple of years, and boom, you've got the Gravity Silos. So they've got a saying, which is, any task you can imagine, a Gravity Silo can automate it. So that's the big idea. So imagine you've got Dave. Now, Dave's got 20K worth of Be4Real tokens. He stakes it. What that staking contract does is it creates B4RC, like I showed you on the previous slide. But at the same time, it creates this additional token here called XBear, and bear with me as I explain it. And effectively what happens is, at the exact same time, the tokens are locked up here, Dave is generating B4RC, like I showed you on the previous slide. At the exact same time, this XBear goes over here to the Gravity Silo, which we've created a advanced strategy inside of. Now, what this silo does is it runs a DeFi, decentralized finance protocol that we've basically created inside of it, right? So it takes the XBear, sends it to a lending platform, that collateralizes it, right? And it sends it back a stable token, which basically doesn't fluctuate in price. That stable token gets sent up here to a staking platform, which effectively then generates a DeFi yield. Now, that 24% APY, that's a placeholder. They can fluctuate. They can go anywhere from like 10%, and I've seen some that go 30, 40, 50%. It depends on what the platform is, right? But effectively, what you've done is this XBear has been lent out, has been created a stable token, that's been sent to a staking platform here, and that starts to generate a yield, right? You're making money from the fees that get charged as this staking platform is doing its business. Now, those yields come out here, and this is where it gets really cool. Those yields can be super vanilla and simply get put automatically. You're doing none of this, right? This is 100% automated. Those yields can get automatically sent down to a savings wallet, and you can generate some basic yields. Or what it can do is the silo can take those yields and automatically invest into our property portfolio. This is where it gets really cool. Now, because our property portfolio already has renters in it and it's generating a quarterly yield, effectively, those yields go into the portfolio. You've got these tokens. Now, it generates its own yield. So let's say that portfolio generates $1,000 worth of yields for you. The silo can then automatically grab those yields, take it back down into here, lend it out again, increase that amount, send that back up there, that increases that amount. And then the next thing you know, you're getting more yields out here, which then, once again, get used to buying more stakes in the portfolio. The portfolio creates more money. That goes back down into here. And it's this loop that keeps growing the amount of yields that you're producing, the portfolio that you've got, and it keeps going up. It's compounding. So anyway, I'm pretty proud of this. Jared and I, when we built this, it was one of those moments. It was an accident. Like, I literally was on the phone to Jared at like 12 o'clock at midnight. He's like, oh, we should make a staking system. And I said, hey, why don't we do this? And then, an hour or so later, we'd mapped out the basics of this. And here we are today. So what do you think of that, Paul?
Interesting.
It is. Yeah. It's. I said it's a bit more technical. I apologize for anyone that was kind of like. The long and short is that you buy some tokens, you lock them up, and then the silo does everything for you. It's completely automated.
Mm-hmm. So, how do people access the data and that sort of thing, the information, though, Todd?
How do you mean?
So someone's got $50,000 worth of the tokens. How is that data accessed and able to be monitored by the by the token holder.
I'm just a bit confused. When you're saying data, what do you mean? Are you talking?
So like basically how that's performing. So
right. Yeah. So what there will be is there'll be a dashboard where you can basically log in and you can see how much you've got staked. You can see how the silo is running, what yield it's generating, and obviously you'll be able to see live what your portfolio is doing as well. So it'll all be inside of a dashboard on the Be4Real platform.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah. This silo is going to be a deep integration. So it'll be deeply integrated with the security token platform that we're building, because what we're doing is a security. So when we do this portfolios, they're security token offerings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
That's the most technical part that I got to say, guys. So just to recap it, Dave, obviously I like Dave. Dave's a good bloke. Dave can stake and earn B4RC. That's worth $1. You can spend it directly on a property through our developer network, or you can hold it and you can use it to buy a stake in our tokenized property portfolio fund when that's live towards the end of 2023. You can take it and you can sell on a secondary market. That will be live by about March 2023. So let's say you've got $10,000 worth of Be4Real credit tokens, these ones here. You might list them. It's a peer-to-peer exchange. You might list them for 60 cents as an example. Bethany might go, oh, geez, I want to buy a property. Oh, what? I can get, $10,000 worth of value for $6,000. Boom. She sends Dave $6,000. She gets $10,000 worth of tokens. She can spend that on the property, and Dave just got $6,000. So he's laughing, right? So that's how the secondary market works. Standard DeFi, which generates a basic yield. And then, of course, you've got the advanced DeFi, which is all about tapping into the compounding effect, right? Super exciting stuff. For us, though, our primary objective and our goal always is to get more people into more property. That's the core of our goal in regards to what we're doing here. So that's the staking system. Now, in regards to traction, as I said, this isn't our first rodeo. We've been doing this for a while. We've got a cool team. So ranging from our CEO all the way down to our head of real estate, Michael. We've got a lot of experience in our team that are kind of guiding this boat to where it needs to get to. And, I had this question, I think, on was it a panel that I was doing? It was something similar to that. They asked, what's the difference between us and every other startup? And it's that we've got 20, 30 years worth of experience in exactly the right places where they need to be to make this project be successful. So we've got a good team. We've got big commercial networks. We've got already committed to our platform, 25,000 listings per year. We've got literally some of the largest property developers in Australia on our books that work with us already. We've got some big real estate agencies involved. You might recognize some of the brands that are there. I actually recently, it wasn't recently, this thing is back in August. In August, I did a big multi-part training series for all of Century 21. So that was pretty cool. They've got a lot of appetite in regards to crypto. Mm-hmm. So watch that space. They've got some big things that they want to do. We've got commercial networks with allied services. So we've got accountants, lawyers, investment advisory firms that know crypto, that know real estate, and that can actually give good advice, right? Which is super important. And then probably the most important and something that separates us from anybody else that might try to do this is we've got first mover compliance advantage, being our direct licenses are an independent remitter dealer license, a digital currency exchange registered provider. We're a registered real estate agency in all states of Australia. And we've also got authorized representative status with our AFSL underneath our funding provider, which is Orion Capital. That's our direct licenses. The next licenses that we've got are partner licenses. So we've got securities licenses through our funding partner and a managed investment scheme AFSL2, which is important because what we're doing with our tokenized property portfolio is a managed investment scheme. So we've got all the licensing that we need to do this compliantly and properly. And, I'm the more libertarian one in our organization. But even I appreciate the fact that you have to work within the constraints that you've got.
Yes.
And not all regulation is bad regulation. And I think there's a fine line. We're working closely with Blockchain Australia and you know the respective government agencies. We want to guide the regulation in the right way, where there's enough regulation in place to protect consumers, which is very important. You know, we all saw what happened in 2016, 17, 18, right? When it was the wild, wild west. So the right regulations to protect the consumer, but not too much that it stifles innovation. That's what we're actively working towards. But anyway, this just simply gives us first mover advantage and a strong position in the market, because it's not easy to get all of these licenses. And these are just a start in regards to what you need. So our parent company, Black Tie Digital, as I said, Be4Real exists in the ecosystem that is Black Tie Digital. Be4Real's young, but we've got 30 years experience running one of the world's largest commercial trade platforms, 20 years experience doing commercial and residential real estate, and 20 years worth providing alternative lending to help people basically buy properties faster. So as I said, not our first rodeo. We've done it a couple of times now. So to wrap this up, and then we can have a Q&A, Paul. There's an offer on the table exclusively to the Conscious Investor Network through Paul, where what we've got is we've got an offer available right now. This is available until the 25th of December, where you can effectively purchase some of our Be4Real tokens and get a pretty cool bonus, right? It's a pretty cool bonus. So as a pre-listing special, we're listing our tokens on March 2023, so 3 months, pretty much ish. We're listing Be4Real at the price of 50 cents. So you can buy Be4Real right now for 50 cents AUD. Now, when you buy Be4Real right now, you will get an immediate bonus of those $1 tokens that I talked about, B4RC, at a rate of 1 for 1. So this is available until the 25th. It's a Christmas special that we're doing. So it's probably a good time that you guys are kind of watching this. What's the date? I don't even know what the date is. But here's an example. Let's say you bought $10,000 worth of Be4Real in December. That would give you 20,000 Be4Real tokens, which can then immediately be locked up and staked, generating you a 20% yield. As an immediate bonus, you'll then receive 20,000 B4RC because it's 1 for 1. So you get 20,000 B4RC tokens immediately as well. That's worth $20,000. So you've doubled your money straight away. Now, you can buy property straight away with that 20 grand, or you can hold it and you can take those B4RC tokens and use that to buy a stake in our big property portfolio, which is, honestly, I can't wait for that. There's some people that have bought lots of tokens that have B4RC. They can't wait to buy some tokens in the portfolio. And then obviously, look, if you stake those tokens for 12 months, you generate an extra $2,000 worth of B4RC in just 12 months. So guys, that's the offer that's available right now. Paul's got a special link that'll give you that deal. But let me close this down and open it up for discussion, Paul.
Yeah. That's great. What happens in the instance? So it's the 20th today, so that's sort of 5 days. People are pretty busy in the week before Christmas, Todd. Like that offer's available till then. What happens if someone doesn't listen to this until after Christmas or Boxing Day?
Look, what I'll do for you is, because you've organised this and it is pretty late. I'll have a conversation with our CEO Caroline tomorrow. And I might be able to get that extended out.
Yep, that'd be great.
Publicly though, it'll be closed on the 25th. We'll just have a special portal that would be open for you guys.
Okay, great. Appreciate it. Yep. So I'll just see if there's anyone else that's on this call has any other questions for Todd. But just while we're waiting for anyone else that wants to jump in, they can either type it in the chat or feel free to ask. Just put your hand up or unmute yourself and we can ask the question. How does it impact, like, in relation to the property market at the moment, for example?
How so?
I mean, well, it's obviously quite buoyant. The prices in the suburbs and that sort of thing around the cities and that sort of thing, even the rural areas have sort of skyrocketed in the last couple of years in relation to the property values, etc.
Yeah, look, so you're talking about the portfolio or?
Yeah, well, I imagine the real value of the property values will impact the portfolio value. Do people get to be able to choose specifics in relation to like properties they want to purchase, or is it for the overall pool?
Yeah, overall pool. So it's literally like putting your money into an index fund, and it basically you get the benefit of the whole fund.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. And I'm just trying to think for any other questions that I might be able to ask in relation to the project, etc. How do the people, apart if they're not staking, whereabouts do they store their tokens, etc.?
Yeah, cool. So anyone that does buy that is crypto savvy, you just have a MetaMask wallet, and the tokens get sent there to your MetaMask wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are not crypto savvy, we can simply walk you through how to basically get your wallet, secure it so that it's safe and you don't lose your tokens, and then we can put those tokens into that wallet for you.
Yeah. Okay. And is there anything else like people can purchase with their tokens through their self-managed super funds, etc., in relation to?
Yeah, you can absolutely. And you just have to go through that process. I had a chap, gosh, when was it? It was back in, I think, April. He put some money out of his self-managed super fund and bought some tokens. So you definitely can do that. Yep.
No, that's great. And so I'm going to post the link in the chat or in the description for the video for the people that are watching it for afterwards. And then that link will take them to a registration process. Is there any like KYC stuff in the part of that process? Like what's involved there?
Yeah, look, there's no KYC when you do the initial process. We have got a completely decentralized buying process up, but most people that aren't crypto savvy don't bother with that. We're on the Polygon chain as well. So like you got to buy USDC, you got to make sure USDC is on the Polygon chains. You have to do Polygon bridge, convert those assets into the other chain. Yeah, anyway, it's so much easier to basically buy it in AUD. All you do is you provide name, phone number, everything like that, and you just do it. It's like purchasing anything. So there's no KYC there. If people used our app, what's that? Can you use? Just got a question there.
Yeah, the question is, can you use your finance company for lending on any type of property, e.g. commercial, residential, etc.?
Absolutely. We actually had a guy, we were one of the core exhibitors at the Australian Crypto Convention that was on the Gold Coast recently. And
yes,
we had a guy come up and chat to us. He had about $5 million worth of Bitcoin. And he wanted to get a mixture of commercial and residential. And obviously we can cover that. So whatever you want to get, there's no rules on it. And the process literally takes less than 10 days. So it's not like a traditional lending setup. It's a non-recourse loan. So you don't need to provide bank details, income statements, anything like that. It's like you send your crypto to the escrow wallet, stays there for the duration of the loan. And then once that's repaid, then the crypto gets returned to your wallet.
Yeah, great. So we've been advocating, crypto for about the last 5 years. It's been a bit of a hell of a ride, and people sort of gone through that journey as well. And at the end of the day, with our clients and that sort of thing, and people that we talk to, it's really about all these things, whether they're crypto or precious metals, property, etc., are really just instruments for a means to an end for people to fulfill on their goals. What happens in relation to then people want to exit out of the token back into fiat or back into crypto, for example? How does that work, Todd?
Look, once we're listed in March, it's the same as using any crypto exchange. So you'll simply be able to take, Be4Real tokens and sell them for AUD or ETH or Bitcoin, whatever it might be, if you're using one of the exchanges. Regarding the B4RC token, which is the $1 token for property, it's got only two pathways. One, you spend it on property or the property portfolio, or two, you sell it on the secondary market when we set that up in the new year. The exchange, the P2P, peer-to-peer exchange we'll be using will be called Elbate. Basically, it's how do I explain it? It's kind of like Gumtree almost, where basically you'll put up your tokens, you'll say, I'm selling these tokens at 80 cents. first in best dressed, and then people can basically come in, send you the funds for that, and you send the tokens, and boom, the transaction's done. We have no involvement with that secondary market. It's completely decentralized from us.
Okay, got it. So I think that's pretty much, you've covered off pretty much everything that I can think of at the moment. If there's no other questions here in the group at the moment as well, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us in parting or in closing in relation to information about the project, etc.?
Oh, look, I just hope that I didn't talk everyone's ear off. I can get a bit passionate about this, and I can literally waffle on. So hopefully I haven't bored you guys or got too technical. I kind of nerd out a bit when I talk about the staking, because I'm very proud of it. It's like anything that you create yourself, right? You get pretty, what's the word? You get very proud of it.
Passionate.
Yeah, passionate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. You put that link in there. So yeah, guys, check it all out. This, as I said, our core objective is to allow people to diversify their holdings, to get into property in unique ways. And we've got lots of properties there that can be bought right now. And not just that, we've got a full team of people. Like if you, for example, I'll type it out.
Yeah.
So
can I ask you as well, just while you're doing that, is it only open for residents within Australia, or are you taking
globally?
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of demand coming from some people that we know overseas in China that want to get their money out but can't necessarily do it in the easiest ways. HTTPS. I just put our property showcase up in the chat too, guys, so you can go there and you can see some of the listings that we've currently got available that are accepting Be4Real credits. But because we've got a team of people here that can go and source, it's called a concierge service. So we've got a concierge service that can basically go, you tell us the criteria that you want in regards to properties, and we've got a team of people that can start to go out there and source properties that fit your criteria as well.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate your time, Todd. Congratulations on your projects. Best of luck. And I'm going to post the link there for people to be able to click on that, fill out the information and get some access and information regarding the tokens and your project and that sort of thing, for those that want to get involved.
Absolutely. And yeah, guys, like if you've been thinking about buying property or even getting investment property or something like that, definitely take advantage of this 1-for-1 that we're doing right now. I chatted to a lady from I think she was in Canberra a week or so ago, and she's looking at buying a unit, but she had a gap in regards to the savings that she had and what she needed to actually get the loan. So what she's going to do is basically take her deposit, use that to buy our Be4Real token, because she gets the 1-for-1. So it immediately doubles her deposit in Be4Real credits. So yeah, it is a quick way to get extra funds there to spend how you want to spend.
Yep. Awesome. Todd, thanks for your time. Appreciate your project and what you're out to fulfill on, and problems that you're solving for people in the market. So thank you for your time, and we'll be in touch further.